Take a quick look at getting your first project set up in Nuendo 7. First thing we probably want to do is to define the audio interface that's being used. We go to our Devices menu to Device Setup, and then on the lower left-hand corner, select VST Audio System, and from the ASIO driver, select your core audio or your ASIO driver for your interface. The inputs and outputs for that interface can be defined by going to the VST Connections menu from the Devices menu, or it could be opened by hitting F4. Here we can define the inputs and outputs for your particular audio interface. There will be presets set up for the configuration of inputs and outputs, and you could add mono, stereo, or extended surround sound up to 13.1 channel widths. The controllers can be set up by going to your Devices menu, again to Device Setup, and clicking on the plus sign in the upper left-hand corner. Here we can define if you have a Yukon system, if you have a Mackie control. At this point, we could define how the control surface is communicating, whether it's via MIDI or Ethernet or USB, directly here in the MIDI input and output port. All the available MIDI input and output ports can also be visible directly here within the MIDI port setup. To define the project bit depth and sample rate or frame rate, go to your Project menu to Project Setup. Here you can see the frame rates, if you need to do pull-ups, pull-downs, what display format you want the project to be in, sample rates up to 384K, bit resolutions from 16, 24, or 32-bit float, as well as your stereo pan law. One thing to be very aware of is where files are being recorded and saved to as you're recording. If we go to your File menu, we can go to New Project, and this will open up the Steinberg Hub. We'll see different templates set up here, as well as news items on the left-hand side. Directly below the hub here on the right-hand side, you'll see this very critical little step. So if you click on Use this default location, it will place it into your Documents folder of your Mac or PC. But you could also choose to prompt for file location. This is the one that I prefer. So now, just click right here, and now I'll just put this into this folder. We could create a new folder right here and hit Open. And now all the audio files are going to be recorded directly into that particular folder. Adding audio tracks is as simple as right-clicking and choosing Add Audio Track. And again, our channel widths can be mono, stereo, or 13.1 interleaved, anywhere in between. So if I wanted to add 8, I'll just use my mouse scroll wheel to increment and decrement. And I want 8 mono tracks. I'll now click Add Track, and all my tracks will be selected here. Now, it's a great idea to name your tracks before you record. So if you double click, you could just type in a name, and if you hit the Tab key, it'll just take you to the next track, so you could name it very quickly. If I wanted to place all these tracks into a folder for easy organization and track management, I could select the top track, go down to the bottom track while holding down the Shift key. That'll select all the tracks, right click, and we could choose to move selected tracks to new folder. We could expand or collapse that folder that easily. Now, if I wanted to colorize all of my tracks, I could select the tracks, go to my color tool, say I want all the tracks to be that color, and you could customize the colors as you want.